Real Virginia is proudly produced by the Virginia Farm Bureau Federation. Since 1926, Farm Bureau has been working to preserve Virginia farms and our rural heritage. Visit our website at vafb.com.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Real Virginia, a show about Virginia agriculture and the people who produce the wonderful local products we enjoy. Brought to you by the Virginia Farm Bureau. What do farmers do when they want to take a break? They can't just walk away from the farm. Spring is the perfect time to use row covers to protect tender plants. And we head to the mountains for our monthly County Agricultural Close-Up.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia, home in my heart always.
Welcome back to Real Virginia, everyone. We're coming to you this week from Thiemann Farms in Louisa County. Farmers need a break like everyone else, but how can they step away when everything they do is so specialized? Ricky Gibson reports that's when having good neighbors can be very important.
Louisa County cattle and grain farmer C.T. Thiemann took his last family vacation in 2009, a 10-day cruise through the Caribbean. Since then, it's just been short breaks because he can't just stop daily operations on his 600-acre farm. That's when he relies on his neighbor, Casey Hoback. Even though Hoback is a turkey farmer, not a cattleman, they know enough about each other's operations to step in.
Leaving town is one thing where you need to have somebody that you can trust. It's another thing when you're spread out across across 8 or 9 miles, and you're 2 miles from a truck and you have a breakdown, and just having somebody you can call on a whim that can come help you out, knows exactly where you are. Or if you're tied up, say baling hay and there's a storm coming and, kids need to be picked up from school, I can trust him to run and pick up my kids. And, no questions asked, just, that's what we do. Got to get it done. We know we got to get it done, and we've got each other's backs no matter what.
It's a learning curve both ways. I mean, I've had some cattle experience in the past, so it wasn't quite as steep of a curve for me to be able to pick up on, what an unhappy cow looks like, or what an unhappy pig looks like. Pigs are very, very expressive, luckily, so you can pick up on them pretty well. There's a learning curve to it because when it's not your own land, and when it's not your own property, your own animals, your own equipment, you have to be aware of where everything is to a heightened extent because you don't see it every day.
In addition to hired hands, there are a few professional farmers for hire who can step in to cover a farmer on vacation. But if you have a smaller operation, by and large, a farmer depends on extended family or good neighbors to take a break. Thiemann's family takes the occasional long weekend, thanks to Hoback. And Thiemann has stepped in to care for Hoback's 19,000 birds in 3 turkey houses when necessary.
I had a family emergency a couple years ago and just had to leave. It was nice to know that CT was able to be there, within a few minutes notice, to be able to pick up where I left off. And kind of the same thing with his operation. When he's out in the field, running hay, and an animal needs attention, you can see it from the tractor, from where you're at, but you've got a dark storm cloud coming. You've got to finish the hay. Having somebody you can call to help with getting the tractor for you, getting the animal up for you, whatever it may be, is invaluable.
Whether it's a crop operation or a livestock farm, farmers have to remember 1,000 details every day. Hoback and Thiemann have taken the time to learn as much as they can about each other's operations.
We've got automatic water, so really you can scan out across the field and make sure the little blue balls or red balls, depending on which water system you have, they're up, so you have water. Make sure there's no gates left open, obviously, and then if in the wintertime they need a bale of hay, you feed them a bale of hay, or if they need silage or grain, for developing heifers or whatnot, then they feed them out.
I have lots of things written down in books about what I do to make certain things work. And in a situation where, you know, it's that last minute, I got to go right now, here's where I left off, hope you can pick it up. Sometimes having that information written down is helpful. It seems silly to write down, you know, this is how high I have heaters. This is, you know, what the water level should be in the trough, you know, whatever it is. But sometimes having just that little bit of knowledge that to me or to somebody else writing it might seem insignificant, it really does play a big role in putting all of the puzzle together.
And Hoback and Thiemann say it's important to find someone who really cares about farming and each other's success.
You can train a temporary employee to do a lot, a fill-in person to do a lot, but they don't have that vested interest in the lifestyle, in the land, in your operation, in their own operation.
It is your livelihood. It's what supports your family. And you know, you owe it to your livestock, especially if you have livestock, to always be thinking about them, to make sure they're getting the best care they can get no matter what, whether you're home or not. So no, you're never really away.
Electronic monitoring systems offer some support for poultry growers like Hoback, but sometimes there's no substitute for an experienced set of boots on the ground.
Because I can monitor all that stuff real time, I can see live temperature readings, I can see live pressure readings, I can see, you know, if, you know, with cameras, if somebody pulls in the driveway, if the feed truck's in the driveway and he needs help, or if, you know, if the propane man, you know, shows up and can't figure out where to go, you know, they have new guys every once in a while, so I can see what's happening, you know, without him having to be there all the time.
It's a way of life, and, you know, I don't consider it work, and I don't believe Casey considers that what we do is work. You know, there's days, yeah, you get upset, you get frustrated, you feel like you got bamboozled by something. But, you know, we both chose this, and most farmers, I do believe, chose it. And, you know, I'm riding around on a tractor for 12 hours a day, and sometimes that is my vacation, and I really enjoy it.
Like so much in life, having close friends you trust to pick you up can really make a difference, especially in farming. In Louisa County, Virginia, I'm Ricky Gibson reporting.
Only about 1.5% of Americans are full-time farmers. The number of Virginia farms is slowly declining, and the amount of farmland is also slowly shrinking. In 2010, there were 46,500 farms on 8.2 million acres in the Old Dominion, according to the National Agricultural Statistics Service. In 2019, that had dropped to 42,500 farms on 7.8 million acres. Meanwhile, the average farm size has increased over the same period, from 176 acres to 184 acres per farm.
Hi, today we're going to be talking about how to protect your crops from frost from the ground up. Please stay tuned.
We're stronger together, especially at this difficult time. For over 90 years, we've watched our membership grow, and we're honored to be part of such a special community. Thank you to the farmers who provide for us every day. Virginia Farm Bureau is proud to serve our members, their families, and to give back to our local communities. That's the Farm Bureau way.
Late season frosts are a risk for farmers and gardeners alike. In an episode shot last spring, Chris Mullins with Virginia Cooperative Extension has a solution from the ground up.
Well, hello and welcome. Today we're at Fauquier Education Farm. We're here with Mr. Jim Hankins, Executive Director of the farm. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing very well.
You know, it's May, and you've got frost protection down. What's going on?
Well, you know, in a normal year, we tell everybody by about Mother's Day, you're good to put your tomato plants out. And farmers always need to push that a little bit. So a week or two before Mother's Day this year, the weather looked good. I went ahead and put in 1,200 tomato plants, and then boom, Mother's Day, we're calling for 3 nights of frost in a row. So I had to scramble to get these tomato plants covered. We've got 1,200 tomato plants right here. That's a big investment. and I didn't want to lose them to the frost.
Well, Jim, I know some gardeners that really like to bump the growing season also. Would this be something they could use?
Absolutely. You know, floating row cover or low tunnels, this is a really, really easy way to extend your season, to be able to put out frost-sensitive things that you might lose if you didn't protect them. But it is amazing that this simple little fabric is enough protection. These tomatoes have been already through 3 nights of fairly good frost. We've lost some other stuff that wasn't protected, and these tomatoes are fine.
Well, Jim, what are the types of materials that you're using here to make up this system?
Well, you know, the fabric is just, this is called row cover. It is a simple polyester fabric. I'm holding it down with these metal staples. We're holding it off of the plant. Go ahead and pull that corner off.
All right.
Over, or right there at the base. Yeah, no, not the hoop, but
gotcha. I see it now.
yeah, the staple that's holding that. Yeah. So, you know, we've got these wire hoops. You know, a home gardener, you don't need these wire hoops. You could put a couple boxes or anything to keep the fabric off of your plants. And that's it. Really, you know, you can use PVC for the hoops. You can reuse this fabric if you are fairly careful about it. It breathes, you know, air can go through it, some rainwater can go through it. And it's actually really, really good for the plants. Not only do you get the frost protection, but on a day like this, the sun is really, really bright. The wind is horrible for these new little tender plants. So you're getting UV protection, you're reducing the amount of wind on them, which is reducing the amounts of transevaporation, the amount of water that the plant needs, and it gives these plants a real boost. You know, actually, now that I've invested all of the time to cover these, I'm going to leave them covered probably for another couple weeks until we're ready to start staking these tomatoes. It's just a great way to give the plants an extra boost.
Well, Jim, I noticed over there you had hoops that kept the row cover off the plants. This is a little different right here, isn't it?
What we've got over here are strawberries. And strawberries, you know, the plants, we don't have to worry. They're not going to get killed by the frost. They were planted last fall. But the blossoms and the fruit are really very frost sensitive. So commercial strawberry growers really frequently are covering their crops with a row cover. And it's a big, robust plant. We don't have to worry about the fragile new little tomato plant that you can break off. So I just skip the hoops and we put the row cover right on top of the plants. It's only going to be there for a couple days. You know, tomorrow morning we're going to take this off because I know I've got strawberries under there that are ready to be harvested.
Well, Jim, thanks so much for letting us come out today and talk to you about frost protection. Well, for more information about protecting your crops from frost, contact your local county extension office and talk to a master gardener. For From the Ground Up, I'm Chris Mullins. We'll see you next time.
From the Ground Up is presented with the generous advice and assistance of Virginia Cooperative Extension. Visit their website at ext.vt.edu.
Hi, I'm Chef Tammy Brawley. Coming up on Heart of the Home, a delicious shepherd's pie. We hope you'll stay with us.
And now, a sneak peek into a day in the life of a Virginia dairy cow. They get their day started. They have some lunch. Get some exercise. Spend time with their friends. And then end their day with dairy sweet dreams. Real dairy, real life, real delicious.
Whether you prepare it with beef or lamb, shepherd's pie is a classic country meal. Chef Tammy Brawley shows us how to make your own version in the heart of the home.
Hi, I'm Chef Tammy Brawley from The Green Kitchen, and we are here today to show you one of my very favorite recipes, and that is shepherd's pie. If you've watched me at all, you probably hear me say favorite recipe a million times, but I just love food and I love to eat. We are starting out with a little bit of oil in a hot saute pan. You don't need a lot of oil because we're going to have ground lamb that is going to render its own fat. But we've got a pound of ground lamb here. We're going to dump it into our saute pan. One of my favorite things to work with in the kitchen too, especially when it comes down to breaking down meats, is a slaw cutter, believe it or not. This actually helps break down the meat quite a bit and quick. Not going to take all that long. You can see how fast it broke down. It's turning brown, which is what we want. You can tell by the way it sounds that it's almost done. You can hear it's not sizzling any longer. So I'm going to go ahead and move the lamb now to our dish that we're going to bake it in. The only reason we're doing this is to get it out of the way, because we're going to come back to our pan and we're going to add a little oil. And now we're going to saute some onions or shallots. I happen to have some shallots already chopped, so I thought we'd go ahead and use those. It's totally fine to interchange those. We're going to saute up the shallots. So now we're going to toss in some thyme and some salt. And we're going to toss in a little bit of chopped parsley, about a tablespoon or so. Stir that around. All right, our onions are looking really nice. We're going to go ahead and sprinkle in some flour. The flour is going to be our base for a little bit of a sauce. You just want to kind of saute that around till you sort of see the white disappear. Then you're going to come back and you're going to add about 1.5 cups or so of beef stock. All right, that's about 1.5 cups. Stir that around. Now what you want to do at this point is you want to sort of deglaze the pan. And that just means scrape those delicious bits of goodness off the bottom. Not only are we creating the flavor profile, we're actually thickening the sauce because of the flour. And then we're going to come back and add that ground lamb back in. This is actually very darn perfect. So we're going to go ahead and put our mixture into our baking dish. Now it's at this point that you would have already have created, which I did, but if you hadn't, this is what you want to do sort of at the beginning. And that is that you want to have mashed potatoes ready. I'm going to grab a glove to make it a little easier. So now we've got our ground lamb and our sauce here waiting in our baking dish. And what we're going to do now is place our mashed potatoes on top. This is where I would recommend a glove. You can certainly use a spoon if you'd like, but a glove makes your life a little easier. And all we're going to do is just kind of mash them, or not really mash, but we're just going to kind of place them around on top of the shepherd's pie. I do have a lot of Irish in my blood. That's probably why this is one of my favorites. And now this goes into our oven for about 20 to 30 minutes or so until it's nice and golden on top. And there you have it. I'm Chef Tammy Brawley from the Green Kitchen. We have some delicious shepherd's pie. Join us next time on Heart of the Home.
Recipes from the Heart of the Home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafb.com/recipes, as well as on Chef Tammy Brawley's website at greenkitchenrichmond.com.
Beef cattle are the second largest sector of Virginia's farm economy. In 2020, there were 1.45 million head of beef cattle, calves, and dairy cattle in the Old Dominion. The total value of cattle sales in 2019 was just under $350 million. Cattle are raised throughout the state, from lush mountain pastures to flat eastern fields. Because these animals are relatively self-sufficient, they're excellent livestock for Virginia's many part-time farmers. Most Virginia cattle are shipped out of state to be finished for processing, but some farmers sell their own beef locally to capitalize on consumer demand.
In this week's County Agricultural Close-Up, Burke Moeller visits scenic Craig County, a rural community so remote it doesn't have a stoplight.
Located in western Virginia in the Appalachian Mountains, Craig County has one major town, New Castle. It's primarily a beef cattle county, but there's also some livestock raised here that could surprise you. For example, Anna Smith raises sheep for competition at Rumbler Run Farm. Her primary business is breeding horses, but sheep aren't far behind.
Right now it's very trendy towards, a look of the sheep. They have kind of lost that form to function that the original, I think, market classes were based off of. But basic things are that you probably would see in a commercial setting as well is just thickness, soundness of structure.
Beef cattle can be seen grazing all over Craig County. There's also plenty of hay bales dotting the landscape. It's said that in Craig County, everyone is connected to agriculture in one way or another.
Agriculture is one of the main contributors to the economy here in Craig County. Craig County is a relatively small county, 333 square miles, and a lot of it is in national forest and forest land, and then also a big part of it is in farmland. We have a lot of rolling hills as well as some steep slopes and some beautiful valleys of some flat, beautiful, productive farmland as well.
Craig County has a total of 179 farms, covering 43,431 acres. The market value of all agricultural products is $4,658,000. Livestock is by far the largest agricultural product in Craig County, bringing in $3,814,000. Cattle and calves account for $2,967,000. Crops account for $844,000. Hay and other crops make up more than half of that at $474,000. Christmas trees are a popular crop in Craig County. Darren Gilrath operates Joe's Trees. He's the third generation to run the business. They have your usual Frasers and Canans, as well as some less common breeds.
These are arborvitaes, green giants. They're a faster growing evergreen. We started growing these a few years back, and the big advantage of these are they're fast growing, they're pest resistant, and they're also a low allergy tree. So if you have allergies to regular evergreens, you can put these in your house, and most people does not have allergy issues with this arborvitae or green giant.
J.C. Winstead has been working his cattle ranch for 40 years, and he only started after he retired from another career as an engineer. He's put that experience into rebuilding the property.
Intensively grazing, I have about 22 paddocks up here and 12 water troughs. And I move the cattle daily from one area to another and let the grass rest in between. And that gives me the best opportunity for putting weight on the cattle.
Newcastle is the only town in Craig County and the county seat. Emily Nolan teaches at the high school and is introducing her students to the importance of agriculture.
I have a lot of students taking their information home and applying it to their family farms or family operations. So they are really understanding how ag affects their everyday lives.
Agritourism is also an important part of the economy. The stunning mountain vistas offer a rural mountain retreat that feels far away from the rest of Virginia, even though it's only a half-hour drive from Blacksburg. Anna grew up in Craig County, moved with her family to New England, and eventually had to come back.
My mom had a farm out here in Craig County, and honestly, I was way happier once that happened. And I went to, first through 12th grade here in Craig County, and absolutely loved the experience here in the community. It was just a very close-knit community here that you can't really get anywhere else.
The people of Craig County are committed to ensuring that farming stays a close-knit, important part of their community for generations to come. In Craig County, Virginia, I'm Burke Moeller reporting.
We're so glad you could join us this week to celebrate all the bounty Virginia has to offer. From the kitchen to your home and garden, to our beautiful wide open spaces, we are proud to say that this is real Virginia. For everyone from the Virginia Farm Bureau, thanks for watching. Make it a great week.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia.
time outdoors has never felt more valuable. Whether it's exploring nature or relaxing in your yard, let's do it responsibly. Before going out, check for closures and fire restrictions. Practice social distancing, even when outside and on the trail. Back at home, if burning yard debris, keep your pile small. And no matter where you are, be sure to properly extinguish any outdoor fire. Drown, stir, drown, feel. We're all in this together. Help keep our safe places safe.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They're out there on the front lines. The brave, the dedicated, the relentless. But there's another front line. The one that helps nourish all others while facing epic struggles of their own. So in this season of uncertainty, a few things remain certain. The rain will fall, the sun will shine, and together we'll continue to grow.
You're going to need me. You're going to need us, all of us. You're going to need our help with your water, your air, your food. You're going to need our determination, our compassion. You're going to need the next generation of leaders to face the challenges the future will bring. And we promise we'll be there when you need us.
We have 37 parks across the Commonwealth. Every year, 10 million visitors enjoy 600 miles of trails from beaches to mountains, hundreds of cabins and campsites, even yurts. We are Virginia State Parks.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
There are 30,000 roadway accidents each year involving cars and farm machinery. Farmers will be moving equipment for planting and harvest season. The slow-moving vehicle triangle in red and fluorescent orange colors and flashing lights allow for quick identification. When you see an SMV sign on farm equipment, slow down, prepare for sudden stops and slow turns.
Patience will save lives. Just remember, we all need to share the road, we all need to be responsible, and we need to be guided by the law.
Motor vehicle safety starts with you.